Here is a famous story about a man who went to the highest altitudes of freedom and then he came back down. When he came back down, he decided he wanted to taste what a lack of freedom was. So he decided to put himself behind a cage, and he realized that most of the cages were already created by individuals, and they created the cage for themselves and then they lived in it. So he, for a while, he lived under the cage someone else created, right? But then he's like, okay, I also need to create my own cage like they do and then live under it or live inside of it. But he soon realized that the freedom which he experienced on the highest altitudes would not allow him to do that, to create a cage itself. It would not allow him to do that, right? So the creation of a cage was out of the question. So he decided, okay, instead of that, I'll do the opposite. I'll start breaking the cages. And the only cages that are in front of me are the cages that other people have made. So he decided to attack those cages, right? After a while, he saw that the people were getting offended and angry and they were lashing out at him. So there was a risk and danger involved over there, right? And he stopped doing that. He stopped attacking other people's cages, right? So he went back to trying to create his own cage. And freedom allowed it this time with the intention that he would break the cage once he made it. He used this intention to kind of coax freedom into allowing him to create a cage, and it did allow him. So once when he created the cage, when freedom allowed him to do it, he took certain more freedoms. It's like, I've created a cage right now. I put in effort. What's the point of breaking it? Might as well sell it to the people who like living in those cages. So he took another freedom. Instead of living in that cage, he sold it to other individuals, right? And the other individuals happily accepted it. They are like, okay, we are allowed a spare of energy in ourselves, a sparing of energy, right? Of creating the cage. We only like living under it, and the rest is all hocus pocus and waste of energy. So we might as well buy this cage from him and live inside of it. So he did that. He created cages, took the freedom to create the cage, and then sell it to those people who were living and wanted to live in those cages, right? After a while of doing this, he realized, oh, now I can go back to my old way of trying to break the cages in which those people are living, right? So, since freedom allowed him to make a cage and sell it, he did some modifications to those cages which he was making, right? So, for example, the cage is there, right? There is steel bars. He increased the space in between them and he sold them to those people. So those guys can escape in between, whoever wills it and whoever sees a way out. This is the story of a man who maneuvered through the hardship of trying to free people. That is it.